What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Oceania game. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Last episode... No, it wasn't the one where Lao got really big. That was the one before. But we saw Brunei, in particular, getting their land. Or not their land. Their empty land taken away from them. We'll see. Their potential, maybe is the best word. We'll see. But that might, of course, trigger them into action. Which is... Why is this city so modern? It is 1120 AD, okay. They have riflemen and Gatling guns, but there you go. They're obviously doing well on that front. But there's plenty of other stuff going on as well. Banuba continuing to expand. We've also got Ngarengeri expanding quite a bit as well. Looks like Yongu here, I was going to say could be in trouble, but I don't believe Banuba did this, so I think they're okay. And we have Ngarengeri as the first autocracy ideology. That's pretty good. Embargo for the Maori. Seems a bit harsh. They're already pretty isolated in New Zealand, and you're just going to kick them out even further. Seems harsh, but there you go. That's what they've chose to do. We saw Aceh, of course, failed against Indonesia. That was disappointing, I'm sure, for them. And Singapore's now stolen this. Well, they didn't have the citrus, but it's stolen the road away from them, which is going to be annoying. I wonder if the AI will build another one around here or not. Will they just try and get open borders? We'll see. There is some cargo ships, although that one is actually just passing straight through Singapore to Brunei. Vietnam v the Khmer continues. We'll see if Vietnam can win that one. And what am I proposing now? The World's Fair passed, and so did no trade with the Maori. I will just try and free the Maori. Help them out, get them some trade back. Seen some more frigates now. Vietnam has a couple here. There's a caravel out there as well for Lao. I think, was it Lao or Igorot? That was Igorot, sorry. Lao's more of a lighter shade of red. No, don't see. Aceh with 3 frigates. And the Wagi going for freedom. It's pretty rare and pretty early. And they also, oh my, where have they pulled that out from? A Great War Infantry. Not many cities, big population, which I hadn't really noticed before, but yeah, they have pretty good, all of those cities are pretty big. So yeah, that's going to obviously help them, and of course, the jungle probably playing its part as well there. But here we go, biggest armies, New South Wales, just ahead of Banuba now, then Laos sits in 3rd, and there's a big drop off to Ngarengeri in 4th, then another big drop of about half down to the Maori in 5th, Brunei 6th, 7th is, that's Motu, 8th is Burma, 9th, where is Australia on this? This is getting a bit worrying. Oh, are they at war? They might be. Igorot, and then here is Wagi. Yeah, Australia's all the way down in 12th. Jesus, okay, that did not know. Really? They're not being attacked too aggressively, but there you go. I guess the Great Wall maybe helping them defend a bit better than expected. I'm very curious now for turn 200, which we'll do Info Addicts next episode, but just to see the tech, because I do think some of these civs with jungles will have a huge advantage now, definitely by the look of it, over some of those with less, but more land. You know, New South Wales is a lot bigger, as is Banuba, than any of the other civs, I would say, and a lot of frigates here for Banuba along the northwestern Australian coast, and more settlers just moving out. I don't actually know where they're heading with these, as New South Wales adds more cities too. There's a lot of random settlers from Australian civs going towards the islands at the moment. Even a Kulin settler. See where that one ends up. I've grabbed another coastal city down here. Lao with 2, I think they already had this one, but definitely at least another 1 or 2 cities here on the west side of this island. They're just trying to outnumber Vietnam all the time, which is quite funny. We'll see if Igorot squeezes in as well as Brunei, slowly lapping up the tiles as well. Igorot's just doing their thing. There'll be another one though, a lot of jungle, getting that extra science. Lao did have a lot, but they've chopped a lot of it down as well. It's going to be fascinating. I think that really I mean, it applies in every game, right? I mean, on world maps, we certainly don't see it. It's never that obvious that Brazil in particular, but obviously the Congo, also another area with sort of the most prominent rainforest on the world maps. They don't tend to be miles ahead in tech. I mean, Brazil tends to do well because they're normally alone, but here it seems like it's having a more, maybe it's just because there's so much of it. Like, this is probably as big as the Amazon is on those kind of maps, so maybe that doesn't help. The Maori has adopted the autocracy ideology. I'm going to open that up. If it will let me, it will. Nice. Okay, let's just have a look. So there you go. So you've got Order, which is Brunei and New South Wales, with total at the moment of 45 tourism. The Wagi with 16 tourism for freedom. And then Autocracy with 30 tourism is the Maori and Ngarrindjeri, who are quite close to each other, so that might help each other out. I say close. Relatively close. That was close. One of the closer civs to the Maori. Not exactly super close to them. I don't really know where they go from here. Probably need to go and start grabbing some of these islands. I mean, there's a lot of jungle here. You could get some tech, but it looks like New South Wales is expanding there. So Banuba early on, a lot of expansion, but now it seems New South Wales is certainly not hesitating to settle. I can see another 2 settlers here. I think there was one in the north as well, maybe? No, maybe not. There are definitely 2 more here in Australia. There's also 2 Australian settlers. See where they end up. They will definitely create some border gore, because there's nowhere they can go that is connected. So that's great. Another city here as well has been snuck in by Ngarrindjeri, taking up as much as they can. South Welsh rum cores. They still exist. They've not got past that era just yet. There's also a Maori settler in Australia. The Khmer city. I don't know how long that will last here. Oh, there it is. The most important town in the world. This was probably here already, but anyway, Georgetown. There we go. That's where we all want to live. We'll all move there. Geotown is here. Banuba, go autocracy as well, and that will probably swing the balance away from Order a little bit more. I would imagine Banuba, pretty big, pretty influential civilization to join the autocracy civs. What the heck is that? That is a Kampong Aya. Well, that's pretty cool. I guess it's the houses on stilts, sort of in the water. Maybe should be in the water, I don't know, but it looks pretty cool. Australia and the Maori, peace out. And there we go, La Trinidad is settled by Igorot, which pretty much, I would say, is maybe the last city we're going to see on this island. So we'll see how Brunei responds to that, because it's going to fill up an awful lot quicker now, what remains of those borders. Vietnam goes Order to bring it back into balance. Still struggling though against the Khmer. That invasion has not gone as easily as it appeared, or is certainly not as easy as Laos made it against the Shan. So we'll see if Vietnam can turn around. Maybe that lake is impeding them a little bit. I mean, these units will of course be being probably killed this turn. I guess that depends. They might attack these units. If you're going to be smart, you know, probably just kill off the... It's difficult, right? You want to kill off the melee units so they can't take the city regardless. But then if you just let cannons there, eventually you'll get low and they will find a way through. So there it is, strategy, you know. That's why it's a strategy game, I guess. Either way, here we go. The World's Fair is done, and New South Wales pretty dominant. Not quite... No, sorry, just over 50% more than the Maori in second, right? So they get points towards the Golden Age, a free social policy, and a big culture bonus, which will help them out as they're picking ideological tenets. They'll get quite a few bonus ones. Free social policy and the Golden Age then for Maori, Ngarrindjeri, Burma, Laos, Wagi, Australia, Singapore, Aceh, Kulin, Banuba. That's quite a lot more competing for that than I thought there would have been. And then just Golden Age points for Igorot, Brunei, Vietnam, and Motu, and the Muri, Indonesia, Anangu, Yongu, and the other Anangu, Khmer, they are still around. Put 0 effort, and the Shan is dead, and I'm obviously not playing, so they did not get anything. Another Laotian settler. We will see where that ends up. Could go for the north. really test Brunei's patience, or just right here in the middle, just test everyone's patience. That'd be quite fun. See, Australia. Perth is not the new city. That was already there. We'll see where the settler ends up. There's a lot of units just walking in the desert. Ngarrindjeri have a big force here. There's sort of random units walking around. There's a lot of Australian stuff walking around. Banuba's army, with a unique unit here, is now heading towards, I'm guessing, this Anangu, which actually turned into 3 fairly decent cities, so that'd be a shame. And Banuba is still looking for spots. There's a big New South Wales fleet here too. There's a lot of random armies and navies just wandering the map. As Igorot adds another wonder. They have quite a few of them. And now they have the porcelain tower as well. They're actually a pretty isolated society too. I mean, I feel like it's probably a similar distance. No, it's not. It's not quite as far as the Maori, but I think it feels even less because there's islands in between, which they have ended up not settling. So it didn't matter at all. Okay, here we go. Vietnam next turn. Should grab this city, and that could be another shift in the power in Southeast Asia, maybe away from Laos. Obviously Burma's kind of let it slip. I feel like it's too late for them, and this city in particular is almost surrounded by enemy borders, so that's not going to be easy. But yeah, Vietnam will certainly make things interesting if they were to take both of these cities for Laos. See how they get on, ask some questions. And Laos has now gone autocracy as well, which is of course the opposite of Vietnam. Vietnam went order, so that is going to be probably another source of conflict or friction between the two. Australia, yeah, they got away okay from that one. Any new crazy units popping up for the Wagi? No, it's still just Great War Infantry. Even their boats are not quite as advanced yet. They still have warriors as well in the east. And oh, there's a new city for Vietnam. They did go onto this island with the broken neck giraffe. Great name. That's permanently going to be named that now. Maori v Khmer. No, Lao v Khmer. That was it. I was expecting that. When I was over here, I was thinking, yeah, Lao. It would be a great time to sneak in and steal it. I'm sure they won't. It looks like Vietnam should get it done this turn. Yep, there you go. Boom. Capital of the Khmer, and a huge chunk of water as well. Going Vietnam's way. Which Lao will probably not be too happy about, but now this city, yeah, it's certainly, that'll be much harder for Lao to get involved in, and this should go Vietnam's way. They already have a frigate in the Bay Area there. And then they have a cannon on the coast. Yep, they should be fine here. And another frigate. Should be able to siege this down relatively comfortably, you'd hope, but you never know. I'm sure they're capable of bottling it. Brunei now has Great War Infantry as well, but still not really a large amount. I mean, they were 6th, I think, in the armies or something like that. But they were between 5 and 10. So, well, 6 is a 1 in 5 guess. But yeah, I'm sure they will build up now a bit more of a force. Now they are not alone on this island, and you can just see how quickly it's all filling up for tiles. Ngarrindjeri have added another island up here. Again, I'm sure that will annoy some of the more native nations, as New South Wales grabs this island, which will give them access to jungle, and if they build the university, a lot of science. Again, big if, they might not build one. I think I'm so confused. I think that's how it works, right? You have to build the university, but at the same time, I'm not sure that all these civs have built them, but maybe they have in every city. Maybe they have. Maybe this is just a new city, and that's why it's not there yet. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. It's an Australian new city here along the south coast, and it looks like Banuba is also exploring some opportunities down here, as well as another Australian settlement. They're just grabbing land everywhere down here. New South Wales taking out the Yolngu would lead to an interesting border with Banuba. Yeah, they're just grabbing everything. Look, Banuba's put a city in here. They're just, everything's valuable down here at the moment. They are just raking it in, grabbing whatever they can. There's actually some fighting going on there. I don't know who that was. Some bubbles. Indonesia as well, just holding off a Kulin settler all the way up here. If they come and settle here after Aceh and Indonesia haven't, that would be quite funny, especially since the Kulin have left a lot of land that was fine and would have been good on the table as well. It would be quite funny. Here we go then, Vietnam's attack. Not quite going as planned. Maybe been a bit slower than they would have hoped. They are obviously going to be exposed if they keep losing units, and Laos is given time to build. Laos now has some great war infantry in the north as well, and yeah, they're starting to push onto that Vietnamese border. Keep an eye on it. It would be a really brutal war between these two, at least here, and that's not to mention also they'd be fighting kind of down here as well. New South Wales did take out the Yolngu, so they are eliminated. Still a worker there, but everything else is gone. Unless they have a settler somewhere, which, I mean, it's possible, but I don't see it. Banuba also grabbed an island for themselves here, which is near to Aceh. And there was a settler, where was it? It was Ngarrindjeri. There are 2 more settlers for them, next to Wagi here. We'll see if they fill up the rest of this island. We'll see how well that goes down. Got some nice orange buildings here, different cultural sort of group, different colour. I guess this is the more, not, sorry, where am I looking? Brunei was the more blue. That's the regular sort of one. I like the orange ones too. I don't know what gets you orange and what gets you blue. I'd assume it's something to do with where you are in the world, but most of them seem to be blue normally, so it's not particularly, you know, useful. I wonder if it's ideology. I don't know if that has an impact. It's hard to tell. I mean, it depends what these guys, the Maori, have, but then, yeah, they have orange. Maybe freedom? I don't know. Might just be part of the world. But there you go, some peace deals for the Yolngu, who will obviously just wander the world as a worker unit from now on. Motu trading with Wagi there. And Wagi pretty much doing the same trade route. Not the same, but a different, slightly similar one. There's a lot of trade moving from the south of the island to the north. I know in Civ it doesn't really make a difference, but kind of interesting. As there it is, Ngarrindjeri cutting off even more of Wagi's tile expansion. They'll love that, just having their tiles taken away from them that would have probably been theirs in a few turns. Sure, they'll really appreciate that one. The Maori's turn. Australia did put down a city right towards the Kulin there as well, so we'll see if that lasts. In the desert, becoming a newly populated area. They're just that desperate for land right now that even the desert will do. There is good resources in the desert. An army of Australian workers too. It's New South Wales with another settler as well, and a lot of Banuban units heading maybe towards the Khmer. I don't know, I would imagine it would be these guys, but if they're going round, it could be Australia, it could be anyone with how these borders are shaping up. Yeah, this island filled, but they now have infantry, so Brunei is just ploughing through the technologies. They were behind Wagi, they would now appear at least to be ahead of them. Obviously there's more to it than just infantry, so that might not be true. But here we go, Vietnam closing in. They've given open borders to Laos, so they need to be quick here, make sure they don't let this city slip. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they've got this in the bag, and we're going to look at religion in just a second because we haven't done it for a while. Igorot joining the Order ideologies, which I believe will link them of course to Vietnam in particular. Wagi complete the Statue of Liberty. I don't know where that was built, it might show up. Kind of cool to see. And there it is. The Khmer are not eliminated. They, of course, still exist down in Australia, as Aceh also goes for the Order ideology. But there it is. Vietnam kicks them out of Southeast Asia. So that was a big war for Vietnam, and a job well done for them. They still had 2 other settlers, right? Maybe they've settled here. Maybe not. I thought there was more exploring opportunities elsewhere. But that might be wrong by the look of it. I was imagining that. That's fine though. Not info addict, religion overview. We'll do info addicts next time. With 190. Number of cities then, the number 1 religion, and then there's a bit of a 3-way tie for second. But New South Wales with Shinto pretty dominant. That's a very city concentrated region. Eastern Australia with no real competition here. apart from, I mean, the Anangu one's done okay in the middle, and the Murray have done okay in the west. But yeah, New South Wales, very concentrated area of cities with no sea blocking its spread, makes it quite easy. The Anangu with the Judaism Anangu, not the Protestant one, with 21. Brunei's have got to 20, which is arguably the most impressive because that's had to cross like the most oceans to other civs and water. Khmer also got 19 in Southeast Asia, which again, slightly less impressive because they're all grouped together and they're the only one. Murray, a bit further behind with 14. There's much less cities in Western Australia, so again, that's probably all of their cities, the Kulin and a bit of Banuba. And then that just leaves a couple of strugglers. Hinduism from Indonesia didn't really get off the ground, and neither did Protestantism from the other Anangu. So there we go. That's the religious picture. We'll do Info Addicts next time around. I think New South Wales has grabbed another city on the same island. So that's interesting. But that will be it for today. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.